Hey everyone, I'm K.A. Will.
And I'm Gabby.
And we want to say welcome to our culture family. We are here on another episode of Marriage Journey, where we talk about our unique walk in our marriage, hoping to inspire other people in their walk. But also, we realized early in our marriage, even before we got married, that we create our own culture in our household, in our marriage. And what I mean by that is just because your parents did things a certain way doesn't mean that you have to do it that same exact way. Your attitude, the decisions you make around your house, how you raise your kids, how you interact in your marriage, that is a culture that you cultivate on your own.
Yes.
And not only that, but we realize not all marriages are the same.
So yeah, we have parallels, but we're all unique. So hopefully, as we go through these our journey and share it with you guys, that you'll see some parallels as well, and like he said, it gets some inspiration.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into this episode. We're gonna be talking about engaging each other. So engaging each other as a couple, engaging each other in a marriage, and what that actually looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So just not in detail, but off the top of your head, like what does engaging mean to you? Or when you hear that word, engaging each other, what does it mean?
The first thing I think of are deep conversations. Acknowledging each other's presence and acknowledging how special you are to one another. I think of engagement. And then of course different levels of engagement or different phases, like spiritual, emotional, mental, physical levels of engagement. But yeah, those are the first things that come to mind. What about you?
Yeah, engaging, now when I think about it, it's like you have to interact with each other, being aware of each other's presence. But I guess going a little further than that, being aware and using that to, what am I trying to say?
Engage.
Right. I really can't think of any other word. I'm trying to think of a different one, but I can't. But yeah, just, being there. I guess quality time is what comes to mind when I think about engaging. Like, for example, I know for me, I realized in our first year of marriage, it wasn't hard to engage because you're fresh off of, like people say, the honeymoon stage. You've been longing to be married to each other, since you were dating. So it's really not hard to engage. You don't really have to think about it.
Right, because you're curious. So tell me everything about you. What do you like? What don't you like? Oh, I love you so much. Tell me more. Tell me what you ate. Tell me how you ate it.
You're flawless.
What do you mean? That was just the first year of marriage, or now?
So yeah, so it's like you. It's no effort. Like I said, it's effortless because you are so into each other.
Right.
You're so into each other. You don't see each other's flaws. They can't do anything wrong. You can't wait to spend every minute with them. So it's very easy to engage each other.
Right.
When you first get married. So I guess that's basically what people mean with the honeymoon stage. But yeah, I guess we can talk about how engaging has progressed for us.
So yeah, if you would have asked me earlier, like when we first got married, how do I engage you? I'm like, I see him every day. That's engagement, right? But yeah, so like the first year of marriage, literally, like we talked about in the prior episode, we didn't have like really high paying jobs. Wasn't really stressing for nothing. I mean, even though we didn't have all of that, but we got through fine. We had furniture, so it was just like less pressure, less things, and it was just me and you, really like minimalistic home. That's how I'm gonna call it. Not broke, but minimalism. That's what we were practicing.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know that's what it was called.
Voluntarily.
Involuntarily. So yeah, we talked to each other. We watched shows together.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Yeah, we couldn't wait to come home. We were learning each other as well, like what we liked for breakfast. How did we like our eggs cooked? All that stuff. So the first year was easier engagement was easier. Actually, let me go back. First 4 months where we didn't have school in the way, nothing. It was just
us.
When I was working, you were working, so we would be apart anyway. You know, it wasn't someone's home waiting for the other person to come home.
Right. Yeah. So after that, though, what would you say was our next level, or where did we progress after, say, med school? Maybe during residency. I don't know.
No. During med school, we couldn't engage physically all the time like we did when we first got married, because I was away, and then when you came to Athens and found a job, you were away. You worked.
That's true. Yeah.
You worked far. You were gone for the week and then came back home. So we would call each other at least every day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it had to be every day for sure. And then sometimes we'd try to do Bible study over the phone.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then when we would meet for the weekend, we'd be happy to see each other. Distance makes the heart grow fonder, so engagement's easy peasy, right? On the weekends anyway. But we did have to be creative because school and work was kind of in the way, right? Because when I was in school, the first year you weren't working, and then you started working, but working far, and then I was at home by myself during the week. So
I remember that because you were wondering how I did it. Like when Gabby was gone, I had my issues with coping with being in the house by myself or whatever.
Yeah.
And realizing that I was missing her. But then when it got switched, after I started working, like you said, I remember you actually asked me, how did you do this? Or this is not where it's at, Like, I definitely remember that. So yeah. Do you have any other, I feel as though there was something else we were supposed to do.
I don't remember.
Okay, that's fine. So the reason why we wanted to do this episode, we realized, I have to go back, at least I can speak for myself, and then maybe you can tell your part of it. I just realized that it is very easy to disengage. And what I mean by that is, it could be one incident, it could be 1 hour, and that turns into a day. And because of that one day where you didn't engage each other, you're off for the rest of the week. It's crazy how that happens. So, like, we can disagree, get in a disagreement or argument, and then the engagement is not there to keep our relationship and our communication healthy. You can miss an hour. It could be, she gets home from work, I get home from work, and for an hour, we're busy with the kids. And because of that, it's like, man, for the rest of the night, oh man, I realized I didn't say hey to you, or didn't really spend time with you, or ask you how you were doing, or if you needed anything.
Yeah.
So it is very, very, I just realized early on, it is very, very important to engage each other every single day, in each moment. For me, for example, I try to make it a habit whenever we walk past each other in the house that I touch my wife. It could be a brush, it could be a tap on the booty, it could be whatever. Seriously, it could be just touching your hair, touching your face. But I try to, as much as possible, anytime we walk past each other in the house, that I touch her. So that to me is keeping that engagement. I'm trying to think of something else. We talked about even earlier, when we wake up in the morning, we try to make it a habit to hug each other. And it's funny, I started that because I said, you know, I want my wife to start her day knowing that she's loved. I want her to start her day with something positive and knowing that she got attention and love from her husband first thing in the morning. But on top of that, I was doing it, I would hold on to her until like she released, you know, until like whatever was in her, whatever, you know, to get her day started, until I would just hold on until she felt a relief about her. So it's funny, I did it for that, but then I realized some days I needed to hug more than she did. Like I would have to hold on until I felt some type of release, you know. So yeah, that was it for me.
So you can tell you can tell our age difference and also our experience. Me, I thought he was just hugging just a hug. I thought it was a simple, hey, good morning hug, right? But you had more meaning, and me, I'm like, what's up? Good morning.
But no, I don't think it's just that. I think part of it too is and maybe we will do an episode on that, is our love languages.
Right. I think that's too, because physical touch is not a top one for me.
Right.
But yeah, it is for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you had more meaning, you had more explanation. So, I agree with you with knowing or understanding how easy it is to disengage. I realized that when we had kids. So like I talked about, you know, us being apart, distance makes the heart go fonder. So when you're together, you want to do everything together. Now, when you sharing the same space all the time, it's a different story. And then kids are a priority all on their own. You can't compare. You can't put one in the other. I mean, they're just priority. So I'm like, all right, first thing in the morning. And again, you guys know, sleep over everything for me. So when I get up in the morning, I'm rushing. All right, get the kids ready. Let's get out the house. I gotta take them to wherever they need to go on time, and I need to get to work on time. So often I just get up and just go get them, and really wouldn't say maybe hi, maybe even not, maybe hi and barely a hug. That wasn't. I didn't see the importance or didn't even think of it being important. So, but then later I'm like, oh man, I miss you. Or it's easier to get into an argument or easier to get on each other's nerves because we were just engaged from like the morning. And things linger, arguments linger more than when we do engage. So when we started giving each other hugs, or at least when I put meaning behind my hugs in the morning, and realizing, okay, this is our way of saying, hey, good morning, how are you, I love you, then it's not less likely, but if we do get into a disagreement, you know, we know, okay, from the jump, our foundation is we love each other just from like a simple hug. But again, I didn't really put that much meaning. I'm like in the Caribbean culture, of course, you say hi to each other, give a kiss, but like when you're so busy with work and having other priorities, it's easy to kind of dismiss because you know that he's going to be there, or you know she's going to be here. You'll see each other later. You can deal with it later. So that has me thinking about how some people choose to pray in the morning or choose to do Bible study in the morning to engage the Lord. Right. Because I can see how easy it is to disengage, or how easy it is to forget and to keep him a priority throughout the day, because everything will ask for your primary attention all the time.
Right. That's so
whether
true.
You have it or not.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're definitely right. So yeah, we have come up with ways of like engaging each other every day, like we were talking about. So yeah, the hugs in the morning, speaking to each other. The other thing that we do, pillow talk.
Yeah.
So Friday nights, and sometimes maybe if like the kids are not here, when we have time to ourselves, so it's usually at nighttime, we would just lay in bed and say, hey, what's been on your mind? Is there anything that you need to get off your chest? Anything that you need to talk about?
What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Same question every Friday.
No, it's not the same. It's the same as in, what's been on your mind.
Yeah.
Like, what's been at you lately.
Yeah.
Is there anything bothering you? So that is kind of the same, but the answer is always different, and that's where that's where the engagement comes in.
That's why I said that question. What do you see yourself in 5 years? Because it changes, especially when you learn more about, or as we were trying to learn more about business and having multiple businesses. We're like, oh yeah, this is something else that we can try. Or, especially our aspirations. So even though it might be the same question, sometimes we get some different answers. So that's cool.
You heard it here first. My girl said multiple businesses. So we will have multiple businesses. We're claiming it.
Okay, that's going to be an episode later.
So you got to claim it. And yeah, we want to take you guys on that journey of different areas of our life. Like we said, we're in our new house now. We mentioned that the last episode. So about real estate. We want to mention about, what else? Something else you said. But yeah, just businesses as a whole, investing. These are the topics that we want to get to eventually.
Yeah.
So y'all let us know what you want to hear. So back to the topic though, another thing that we do to stay engaged with each other is we realize something that you mentioned earlier. After having kids, we go nonstop. Between work, responsibilities around the house, personal care, and marriage and kids, listen, we realize we will go nonstop every day if we don't take the time. You have to make time. Don't wait for something to happen. Don't wait till you think you're going to get free time, because that will never happen with kids. It just won't. Seriously. So one of the things we did with all of that is one day a month, we both take a day off together. So we plan it, a month or two. Because of our work schedule, you have to plan it like 2 months in advance. But we try to every month. And we've been doing good. I don't know how long it's been.
I look forward to it every month.
I think we started this when Gabby started working during residency.
Towards the end, yeah.
So it's been at least 2 years that we've been doing this. Yeah, I want to say at least 2 years where we stopped one day and was like, no, one day every month we're taking off from work. So she doesn't go to work, I don't go to work. We take that day off once a month. And we spend it together.
Yeah. I know I don't have to preface this, but yes, we are hardworking individuals, and we will go to work every day, not miss a day, unless it's dire. Thanks to our parents and
our culture,
and exactly our Caribbean culture, man. Miss a day of work for what? So we would go nonstop, but to be able to look forward to a day of relaxation and just being with each other, being present with each other does wonders, I think, as far as my own personal peace, but then also for our marriage too. So
yep, for our marriage. Yeah, and I'm not saying...
And to be better parents too. Need a day off.
That's true. You need a break. Like, you can't just keep going all the time. But something that you said, I'm not saying that we do nothing on that day. There are times where we do that, where we just say, hey, let's not do anything today.
Yep.
But when we take that day off, as long as we are together in our own, time together, engaging each other, spending quality time with each other, that's all that matters on that day. So we may go out and go shopping. We may do stuff around the house.
Yeah.
But there are also times, like I said, where we may do nothing. But we make sure to take that day, because I can't tell you how many times we took that day off together and was like, oh my goodness, if we didn't take the day off, we wouldn't have been able to think about this. We wouldn't have been able to address this.
Right.
Because, in taking a day off, in resting, you realize certain things that you wouldn't have done or wouldn't think about, have the chance to even think about taking care of it or addressing it, because you're constantly going, and it would have got overlooked.
Right.
So the day off has definitely been something that has been advantageous to us and just a blessing. So,
and then another way I like to engage is doing budget meeting. I find it so much fun. So I just had to put that out there. Like, even doing budget meeting to me is a great area of engagement. Sure, it gets heated, but at least everything is out there. You know, and we can have to work to come up with a conclusion, because either we making it or making it financially or not.
Yeah, I think you like budget meeting for the fact that we have to engage while talking about our budget.
Even if it's a disagreement, I'm like, oh, we have to get to it. What are we gonna do? No, I find that fun.
Yeah, I think that's why you like it. I see that.
Yeah.
I see that. Before we end, is there anything else you can think of that we need to mention about engaging, or anything that was on your mind?
No, I think with time things are going to change. Our ways probably are going to change, but right now I find that doing the daily hugs, hugs in the morning, first thing in the morning, saying hi, saying good morning, asking about each other's sleep before starting off the day has been impactful for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. And just keep in mind, guys, wherever you are in your marriage, it could be at the beginning, it could be before kids, after you have kids, how you engage. Look for the ways you engage to change, because we realize that's what's been happening with us. The way we engage has been changing as we progress in life.
Right,
So,
and there were even life events, big or small, so.
Yeah. So that's it, guys. We want to thank our culture family once again for being here with us, for engaging, just following us and supporting us. We appreciate you guys. Thank you again for watching another episode of Marriage Journey. I'm K.A. Will.
And I'm Gabby.
Talk to you guys next time.